This is David. I want to do this video on, I've been thinking, why some people join the Mormon Church. Now, obviously, there are probably many people that have diverse reasons for joining, but here's one of them that I've been kind of pondering on here for a few days. Most human beings feel guilty about something, real or imagined. They feel guilty. Their parents have told them that they're bad in algebra, or they're a bad girl or a bad kid, or they've, smoked or drank or took drugs or have done something that most of us have done as young people. As we grow up, those poor self-images continue to be with us. We always think that we're the same bad person that we were years ago. I remember, you can see me wearing short sleeves now. I remember in junior high school, I was so self-conscious that my arms were skinny and I wasn't buff that I always wore long sleeve shirts, whether it was 110 in California or not. I wore long sleeves. So maybe some of you can relate to that, maybe not. But I have come to the conclusion that if a church promises you to be a god, now they're backing away from that doctrine a little bit, but that has been a main core doctrine of the Mormon Church. In the temple, it says in the initiatory parts of the temple that you are anointed to be a god and a king and a queen under the Most High God. So that doctrine is there. I don't care what they say. Been there, seen it, heard it. Okay, they got to change that in the temple because they're changing it here outside in the real world. But if you're feeling guilty about yourself, maybe you had a little bit of a sexual encounter when you were young. Most of us did. There's experimentation there and all kinds of, guilt. If someone promised you that you're going to be a god and that if you get baptized that all of your sins are going to be washed clean, that's attractive. The worse person you are, the more that's attractive. So if you're a real ass or have been and you think you're covered with sins, join the Mormon Church, because when they baptize you, you become clean again. Well, of course, I was baptized when I was 8, and some of you know and some of you don't. I resigned from the Mormon Church twice. I gave them a second chance. The third one, 3 strikes you're out in California. But the first time I was 8, well, I was a real idiot between 8 and 50 or so. And then I decided to become a member again, that maybe I was making a wrong decision. I wasn't. So I got baptized again. So all of my sins under 48 or 50, they're gone. So if anyone's going to the celestial kingdom, it's me. It's me. So here's what I'm thinking. One of the real draws of the Mormon Church is that you're going to be washed clean. And they say this a lot in the temple, that you'll be washed clean of the blood and the sins of this generation. Sounds pretty good. If it was true. So I had a friend, Ed Roth, who, you look it up on the computer, Ratfink. He invented the Ratfink cartoon. And Ed was a sign painter at Knott's Berry Farm in California, and he was the head of the Los Angeles Hells Angels. He had the cutest little daughter. I almost married the daughter, but I married a girlfriend instead. But I met Ed and went to his house and went to his garage, and nice man. Well, he was converted to the LDS Church. He had tattoos from the top of his head to the bottom of his feet. But he was washed clean from the bloods and the sins of the Hells Angels. That looked good to Ed. So I'm using that as an example that if you're feeling shit about yourself, go find the Mormon missionaries. They'll make you clean. They'll ordain you to be, or anoint you to be, a god, and they will also clean you of the blood and sins of this generation, including your own. So that is an attractive thing. And when you've got a cult and they hold over you that promise, and you join in there, you're pretty tight. You're in there pretty tight because you don't want those sins to come back. Now, here's what's interesting. If you leave the Mormon church, okay, they send you a letter. And the letter says, you're unbaptized. I don't know if it has a hair dryer in there or what. They just dry you. You're unbaptized. You have your sins back. Ooh, that's a good reason not to resign or get excommunicated, because your temple endowments are not suspended. They're revoked, and your baptism is revoked. So that is a cult circle that many, many people in the Mormon church are worthy of. So they come in to get clean from the blood and the sins of this generation, and to have all their sins washed away and be anointed gods and queens under the Most High gods. I think it might be queens under your husbands. I can't remember. They changed it so much. But anyway, that's kind of a neat promise. But if you resign or you're excommunicated and you don't walk the line, they can unbaptize you with a letter and unbaptize you with your endowment and your sealings and all the things with your kids. So I just wanted to let you know kind of how I've been thinking that, you know, if you're dog shit, you could be an Easter bunny after you're baptized. You're perfect. But if you cross them, you'll be dog shit again. So either don't join them, or when you get in there, for God's sakes, don't do what I did. I'm dog shit again.